In this video, we will see how to place rooms and room tags in a model. We'll see how to modify the boundaries of rooms and use room separator lines. And we'll also see how to add a colour scheme and colour fill legend to a view to help with the presentation of rooms. In Revit, a room is an object that defines the space within a building. When designing a building, we think about the rooms that we need to create, such as kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms, offices or classrooms. And we model the objects that will enclose those rooms, such as the walls, doors, floors and roofs. And the room is the object that represents that enclosed space. It calculates its dimensions, such as the area and volume, and allows us to assign information such as a name, number, finishes or departments. And they can also be used to locate other objects that are able to detect the room that they inhabit. I have the exercise file Create Rooms open, and we're currently looking at the Floor 3 plan view. And we can see in this office layout here that we have quite a number of rooms placed, and they all have tags associated with them that display their name, number and area. And if we zoom in a little closer and I'll select the reception tag just here, we can see that highlights the boundary of the room that it is attached to. And if I move my mouse to the side of the tag here, we can actually select the room object itself. Now, looking at the properties palette, we can see we have dimensions for area, perimeter and volume. Although the volume is not set to be computed in this project, as we are not performing any analysis or calculations that require it, and the model actually works quicker without the volume being computed. Below this we can see we also have the name and number. The room itself is bounded by objects in the model, so if I select this wall just here and then look at the properties palette, we can see we have the room bounding parameter which is selected. And this wall, along with the others around the reception here, create the boundary for that room. And if you were to move this wall, the rooms that are bounded by that, such as this reception and the two offices here, would change their dimensions to suit. Now looking at the end of the plan here, we can see we have some spaces here that don't yet have rooms placed in them. So to do this, I'll go to the Architecture ribbon tab, and from the Rooms and Areas panel, we'll click the Room tool. And now looking at the Place Rooms ribbon tab here, we can see that we have the Tag on Placement option enabled. And in the Type selector, we'll change the Room tag to be the Room tag with Area type. Now looking at the plan, we can see where we have rooms already placed as they're now shaded in blue. And as we move around the outside of the building, we can see we have a room attached to our cursor, however it's not in an enclosed area. As we move over the building here and it finds an enclosed space, we can see it take up the size of that room. And I'll move to the next one just here. And now we can just click to place that room into that space. And now we can continue to work our way around the other spaces here and just click to place a room into each one. So now that we have all of those placed, I'll click Modify to finish the Room tool. And now looking at the rooms that we've just placed, we can see on their tags that they've all been assigned the name of room. And this is the default for whenever we create a new room. So I'll select the tag attached to this room here. And now I can click on the Room field and we'll assign this the name of Conference Room. Looking at the other rooms we have, quite a few of them will be called Office. So I'll select the room itself here and then holding the Control key down we can select the other rooms along the edge here. And now I'll go to the Properties palette and from the name parameter here I'll start to type in Office and then we can pick that from the list. And now once we apply that, we can see all of those rooms are updated with the name of Office. Now looking at the open work area here, we can see that it has an area of over 1300 square feet. And if I select the tag, we can see that the red boundary line here goes way beyond the work area and out into the circulation zone. This is because we don't have a physical boundary at this end of the room. And as we don't want a boundary, we can use a room separator to actually enclose this room. So to do this, we'll go to the Architecture ribbon tab, and from the Room and Area panel here, we'll click the Room Separator tool. And a room separator is a line that we will draw in the model. So looking at the ribbon here, we can see we have the draw tools and we have the line draw tool enabled. So I'll come down to the end of the room here, and then we can snap to the end of the wall here and then across to the other side. And straight away we can see that area is now reduced down to around 790 square feet. And we'll draw another room separator across this area here, as this doesn't need to be part of the open work area. Once again, we can see that area reduce. So I'll click Modify to finish drawing the room separators. And if I select the tag for the open work area, we can see that it's now bounded by those room separators that we've just created. However, having done this, we now need to place a room into that circulation zone. So I'll go back to the Architecture ribbon tab, and from the Room and Areas panel here, we'll click the Room tool. And now we can just click to place a room into that circulation zone. So now click Modify to finish that. And zooming in a little closer, we can see that that's also now named as Room. So I'll pick on the room object itself, and in the Properties panel here, we'll change its name to be Circulation, and as we start typing, we can pick that from the list now. So now looking at the two offices here above the circulation zone, we can see the left hand one is quite small compared to the other. And if I pick on that room, we can see that it only goes to the edge of the cupboards here. And actually we'd like those cupboards to be included as part of that room. So if I select the wall here, and now looking at its properties, we can unselect the room bounding option. And once that's applied, we can see that area grow and the room now flows in through the cupboards. However, the office is quite small, so if I select the wall in the middle here, and then we'll go to the Modify Walls ribbon here and click the Move tool. If I move this over by 2 feet, we can see the area for those two offices change as the room bounding wall moves to adjust their boundary. As these are quite small, I think I'll actually delete this wall and make it one office. So I'll select the wall here, and using the Control key I'll select this door too. Now from the Modify ribbon tab, I'll click on the Delete tool. And once they've been deleted, we can see we have this warning message now. And it's letting us know that we have two rooms in the same space here, and one of those rooms is redundant. And looking at the view, we can see the redundant room here highlighted with its tag. So I'll pick on the Delete Rooms button here, and then that room will be deleted. Although we do have a warning letting us know that we need to delete it from the schedule too. But now we can see we have that one office filling that space. I'll select the room and the tag, and we can just drag this now into the center of the room. So now we want to create a view to present these rooms better. So to do this, we'll go to the Floor 3 plan view in the project browser here, and then we'll right click and choose Duplicate View, and then Duplicate with Detailing. So now we have a copy of that view. We'll right click over it and choose Rename, and we'll name it as Floor 3 Layout. And now as we duplicated with Detailing, we have the tags placed on the rooms in this view still. However, I want to change them so that they are just the name only. So I'll pick on one of the tags here. And now from the right click menu, we'll choose Select All Instances and then Visible in View. And now we have all of those tags selected. We'll go to the Properties palette here, and from the Type selector, we'll change this to be Room Tag Name Only. And now we can see all of those room tags just display the name of the room. And now we want to apply a colour scheme and add the colour fill legend to this view. So to do this, we'll go to the Annotate ribbon tab, and from the Colour Fill panel here, we'll click Colour Fill Legend. And now we can see we have the legend attached to our cursor, so we'll click to place it just outside the building here. And now we need to choose the Rooms space type, and then the colour scheme will be Type. Now we can click OK, and now we can see that all of the rooms have been coloured, and the rooms of the same name have the same colour. And that's also updated the legend as well. So we can see all of the offices here have the same colour, along with the circulation areas and the reception areas. Now looking at the conference room, we'd like to change its colour to make it a little bit stronger. So I'll select the colour fill legend here. And now from the Modify ribbon tab here, we'll click Edit Scheme. And here we can see all of the colours associated to the room names. So we'll click the colour next to the conference room name. And now we'll just use the drag control here to make this a slightly stronger blue. So click OK to save the new colour, and then OK to close the colour scheme. And we can see now that that updates in the view and also on the legend as well. So now that we have the colour scheme and the colour fill legend applied to this view, that completes creating the rooms and tags on this model.